This little battery will power any one of these lights for half an hour. That's pretty cool. All right, today we're going to talk about the smallest, cheapest 14.8 volt batteries. Now you might go, why? That sounds boring. Well, all consumer electronics can be battery powered. You will be amazed how many things that you could use battery power on, especially when you're portable outside on location. This comes in really handy. Almost everything can be battery powered. Cameras, lights, stereos, computers, laptops. Like here's a monitor. It has a V-mount on the back. This is just a cheap light from China. It's got this brick on the back. This is the most ubiquitous power plug in the world for electronics. Almost everything has this. This is a 2.5 or a 2.1. And then there's the jack right here that it goes into, and we'll get to more of this in a minute. But anyway, the point is, this plugs into the wall, right? It doesn't say battery anywhere on here. So you're gonna think, oh, this has to be plugged into a wall. This isn't battery powered. Well, let's look at one of these things. You're probably saying, I don't know, I got a lot of things that have to plug into a wall. Right, they got these things, right? Well, this end plugs into the wall. That's AC, 110, 220. But this side, coming out the other side, it plugs into their device. This is where it gets interesting. Get a magnifying glass. Look at what it says. You notice here it says 15 volts. Now it can say 12, 15. Sometimes it says 24, 9, or 7, or 5. But you'd be amazed how many times it says 12 to 15 volts. Even if it says 5, which is USB, you have things like this. You got Dtap on one end, and USB on the other, and there's your 5 volts. Or you have this kind of thing. You've got a Dtap here, and your plug, and here's a typical Dtap battery, right? This is like a typical battery. All you got to make sure is two things. What's the voltage going into your device, and what's positive and negative. So you get a voltage meter, and you have two contacts, one on the outside here, and one on the inside. You just got to figure out which one is which. Now you might think the one on the outside that's the most exposed is negative and the one that's hidden the most is positive, but that's not always the case. So let's do that. Let's stick the positive in the middle here. Notice when I touch it, the meter here goes backwards. That means this is backwards. So let's put negative on the inside and positive on the outside. There we go. All right, now you see what it's doing there? This is the correct thing. So that means the outside is positive and then the inside is negative. That's all you got to know is the polarity and the voltage. All Dtap batteries, V-mount batteries, are 14.8 volts. That's the starting point. These are typical Dtap batteries, V-mount batteries. They're like the size of a brick. They're pretty heavy. And the typical ones like this, they go for like $200 or $300. That's a lot of money. They're big and they're heavy. This is a half-sized one. See, here's a full-sized one and here's a half-sized one. This one is 230 watt hours. That's quite a bit. This one is 94 watt hours. Now the big thing recently to make these things smaller seems to be around 100 watt hours. That seems like the magic number for the newer stuff that we're coming out with. So these are like 200 plus. This is about 95. These are about $200-300. This one is $87. That's actually a pretty good deal for this. Here's another one that I had from Core. It has a digital readout, tells you how much time, how much power you have left on it. Here's a plate, for example. This is from camTV. They're like 50 bucks. You've got your Dtap connector here, but on the side is a Dtap connector. Some of these ones, you can buy different models. They have options on the side. You can have 14.8 or 9 volt or 5 volt coming out the side, and you have your different plugs. The cheaper way to go, instead of paying the 50 bucks, is one of these things. This is a clamp that has a V on it that you just clamp, and then this clamps onto your light stand, which is a really cool way to go. These are pretty cheap. You can get these for under 10 bucks. Anyway, those are the old school ones. Now we get into the interesting alternatives. First alternative interesting one is an RC car battery. This is 14.8 volts. Here you have plus and minus, red and black. So all you got to do is, here's something I created. I took the plug that goes into your device and I cut it off, and I took two clip leads. The cord inside here, there's a red one and a black one, so that made it easy. And then all you got to do is just clip this on like this. So now you have power going to your plug, and now I can get my just put this on the light, turn it on, and I have power. So now I have an RC car battery powering this LED light. Pretty cool, huh? These come in all different sizes. This is a 6,000 milliamp hour, which is about the same as these hundreds here, the 100 watt hours. Okay, so that's an RC battery. This is a small rig. I showed this in a recent video. This is a small rig battery. It's a VB99. It's pretty small for a V-mount. It's got the V-mount on the back. This is $279. It's still pretty expensive. I think part of the reason they're charging so much is because it's a novelty device. It's really small, but it's got a D-tap on one end, and on the top you have choice between different outputs. You have, what is that? That's 8 volts? That's weird. Okay, 12 volts, 8 volts, USB-C, and USB-A. So that's quite a few options for plugging different power outputs out of something here. So they don't all have to be 14.8 volts coming out of here. Anyway, so that's the V-mount. Now here's a cheaper alternative. I like these ones. These are from camcorders. It's a Mini 99. These are $160. So this is $279 for this thing. That's ridiculous. It's almost $300. This is only $160. This is the same power output as this. It's 99. But this one is half the price of this one, and it's actually smaller too. See, here's the side, and here's the front, and here's the top. So this is smaller, and it's got the V-mount on the back. It has a D-tap on one side, a D-tap on the other side, and on top you have a USB-A. So this is the camcorders Mini 99. All right, now we get into non-D-tap batteries, but they have the same power. These are 14.8 volt BPU batteries. These are used for things like this, like a camera, FX6, FS5, FS7. These are camcorder batteries. So on the back of this is this one here. They come in different sizes. Like this one is a BPU 90, 8200 milliamp hours. So you can see it's taller than that. I mean, you can get as tall as you want, but this one is a BPU 65. Okay, so that's a 65 and this is a 90. You can see the size difference. They're the same this way. And the cool thing about these are D-tap on one end, USB-A on the other. Now here's a cool device. Let's say you're powering a bunch of these lights. Okay, so you got a bunch of lights here that on location that you want to power. You don't need 3 or 4 different batteries. What you can use is one of these. This is called a D-tap splitter. So you can actually plug 4 different D-tap devices. Like here's one. Here's a USB-C, all right? So I could have a USB-C light, and then over here, I can plug another one in. This one has a 2.1 plug, both coming off this battery. 4, 5, 6, however big your splitter is, different devices from one battery. That's kind of cool. I'll try to put the links down below for everything. Now it is BPU connector on here. I think it's pretty self-explanatory. This battery goes on this plate, and then you have your plug there. So you can have this battery going into this light like that. They can make you a BPU plate that has any custom wire you want on it. It's NebTech. I can put the link down below. Here's one by iCan. This is smaller. And then this plugs into whatever device it is you want. Or you can get one of these things that the battery goes onto, and you just solder whatever connectors you want on the back. This is by Shape. This is a BPU 65. This is a 65 watt hours. It's $130. That's 4,400 milliamp hours. Has D-tap and USB-A. This one is by Castar. This is a BPU 68, and this one's only $60. That's half the price of the one right next to it. And Wasabi has a BPU 90 for only $79. That's a great deal. Here's something interesting I did. I unscrewed the little V off of a plate that I don't use very much, and then I epoxied it onto the back of the battery. So now I have a BPU battery with a V-mount clip on the back of it. How cool is that? Now you can see there's 5 different holes here. You only need to concern yourself with 2 of them, and they're the ones on the very ends, this end and this end. Most batteries will say in the bottom plus and minus. If you don't know which is, if it doesn't, then just get a voltmeter to check. But this one is negative and this one is positive. Just plug that into there and presto, we have light. So now I have a BPU battery powering this light with my custom-made clips here. What I did is to make this clip in the holes better, I took one of these little thing and I pinched it so it's smaller, so it goes deeper into this hole here. So just make sure you get the plus and minus right, but that's a cool idea. So you can use a BPU battery which is smaller than a 99 V-mount Dtap. Okay, then we get into even smaller batteries. All right, now we get into this one here. This one is just a standard size. It looks like an NP battery, but it's not. It's actually 14.8 volts. This is made for my well making light here. Remember this one? You can order this 14.8 volt battery, which goes on the side here, and this is a well making light. So if you need 14.8 volts and you want it to be small, you can get 2 of these batteries plus a charger for $90. That's like $40 per battery. It's 44.4 watt hours, which is 3,000 milliamp hours. And you can run a light like this full power for half an hour with one of these things. So half an hour of light with one of these. And that's pretty much the same. They all use roughly 60 watts of power, 60 or 80. Just know that 3,000 is 30. So, you know, take out 2 of the zeros. That's how many minutes you can run. So a 3,000 milliamp hour battery will run for 30 minutes, one LED light. A 6,000 will run for an hour. Now this is an actual NP battery, all right? So they're the same size, but this one is 7.4 volts. You can get 2 NPF batteries plus a charger for $50 on Amazon. Look at these lights. See how there's 2 slots for NP batteries, right? You got 2 slots. And the reason for that is, see that connector there? That's 14.8 volts. But you have 2 NP batteries, which is 7.4, so 2 times 7.4 is 14.8. That's what most of these do. Like this one here, same thing, 2 7.4 volt batteries to make 14.8 volts. Or you can plug your cord in there that has the 14.8 volts. They all have this. Here's another one. You got the plug, but this NP slot actually takes 14.8 volts. A plate like this that takes 2 7.4s, there's one from Edelkrone that you can get that's $29. That's pretty cheap. Most people already have 7.4 volt NP batteries. You just need 2 of these to make 14.8, and the plate is only $29. So that's another way to go. You might say, well, this is 14.8. I have a device that's 12 volts. Most 12 volt devices can handle 14.8 volts. They have a voltage limiter in them, so almost all 12 volt things can handle 14. If you're really worried, you get an adapter cord like this for a few bucks, and that actually gives you the actual exact voltage. You can get 14.8 to 12, 14.8 to 9, or 5, or whatever it is. So there you go. There's my powering of lights. I'm going to give away this one here, the flat Neewer. Never even use it. This is brand new. And I'm also going to give away the RC battery. Again, these are brand new. Never even used them. I just don't need them. I have enough other batteries. And speaking of giving away, just real quick, the winners of the Dracast light stands. You probably already got this in the mail, but Alfred Baker from Mastic, New York. Dorothy Simmons from Chesterfield, Missouri got one. Gilbert Rodriguez from Tampa, Florida got one. Scott Schedlinger from East Rockaway, New York got a well-making light stand. The Rotolite light stand went to Steve Harrison from Roswell, Georgia, and the Photo Pro light stand went to Ashton Weinert from Jamestown, New York. So congratulations to those people for winning. I didn't have a chance to make a video about the winners. I'm just too busy here. So some of you have probably already gotten these. And if you get a call from FedEx saying, hey, we got a package for you, that's, if you're this one of these people, then that's what it was. Sometimes the call comes in before the announcement. People go, I don't know if this is real or not. Congratulations to those winners. I'm going to give these away. MarcusPicks.giveawayenter.com. And that's my little thing about battery-powered anything. You can battery power almost anything. I think this is, I love this. I think this is fun. This is fascinating. I love to tinker. I like to figure out ways of making things work. This is my exciting little gadget here. You can take a power brick like this, cut the cord off the end, look at the voltage, and just make sure you figure out which is plus and minus, and just clip some leads on there, and then this can that could just plug right into whatever device it is you have. So there you go. All right, let's have some fun. I'll see you next week. Bye bye.